This passenger-filled plane had unexpectedly crashed into the ocean, but none of the passengers were injured and not a drop of seawater had entered the cabin. However, no one felt relieved. They were now stuck at the bottom of the sea. All communication equipment on board had been destroyed, and without rescue, they wouldn't survive once the oxygen ran out. Just when everyone was falling into despair, the captain stepped forward holding a red leather pouch. He explained that it contained an emergency survival device. If someone could take it and reach the surface, nearby ships would receive a distress signal and come to their rescue, but the odds of success were very low. To increase the chance of success, the captain decided that 2 people would exit the plane for the mission. That way, if one of them didn't survive, the other could still continue. The captain chose himself and the flight engineer for the task. They first sealed the metal doors inside the cabin to prevent seawater from flooding the rest of the passengers. But once the hatch opened, a torrent of seawater rushed in. The impact knocked the engineer unconscious. The captain had no choice but to go alone. He swam toward the exit, only to find that the oxygen tank had malfunctioned due to the impact. He removed his mask and opened the backpack containing the signal device. A yellow valve shot upward toward the surface, but the captain was still deep underwater. He summoned all his strength and swam upward. Just as he was about to lose consciousness, he broke through the surface. He climbed onto the rescue float and pressed the emergency signal, quietly waiting for help. Fortunately, a nearby naval ship received the distress signal and immediately sent out boats to rescue him. The captain was soon pulled aboard. When the naval commander learned that a group of passengers was still trapped underwater, he became extremely tense. He ordered the entire crew to head straight to the crash site. After a relentless search, the rescue team located the sunken aircraft. Seeing the trapped passengers and the intact plane put everyone under pressure. If they simply opened the fuselage, seawater would pour in and endanger everyone inside. After a long discussion, they came up with a bold idea. They would try to use water's buoyancy to float the entire plane to the surface. They first passed heavy lifting straps underneath the aircraft, then attached them to a massive balloon, which was connected to an inflation valve. Once everything was ready, the crew moved away from the plane. The pump was activated, sending large amounts of gas into the balloon. Gradually, the plane began to rise. But just then, seawater burst through the door. The passengers were instantly submerged. If they weren't rescued in time, the oxygen would run out and they wouldn't survive. The commander had no other choice but to keep increasing the pump's pressure to raise the aircraft as fast as possible. Fortunately, the nose of the plane broke through the surface moments later. As the rest of the body rose, the water inside drained out. The rescue team immediately rushed in and pulled all the passengers to safety. Once the mission was complete, the plane sank back into the depths of the ocean.